Hey guys, Brad here with part 2 of my video on taking action. So in part 1 I talked about the importance of actually stepping up to the plate and doing something, but don't set the bar too high. Okay, setting the bar too high initially at first, I mean if you can do it, you know yourself, go ahead and do it. But initially set the bar relatively low. So at the end of the day, you're actually going to be accomplishing the things that you said you were going to. Again, I talked about in part 1, this builds momentum. You feel accomplished, you get the achievement done, and you develop the most important thing, which is the habit of completing a task. You get into a habit mindset of accomplishment, of achievement, which is perfect. When I first started working on myself, like a year and a half ago, it was hard. I mean, I would set outrageously high goals for me. You know, I was gonna get fit. I was gonna, read 10 books a week or just crazy stuff that was completely unrealistic. My chronic pain was going to disappear. I was going to do all this meditation. And you know what? At the end of it, none of it happened. Have you guys ever been there where you have a list of 10 things to do and you want to do them all at the expense of getting none of them done? Yeah, so that's a very, very common theme I've seen in my own life and with other people. You know, we have these crazy ideas of getting XYZ done and X doesn't even get done. So stick with X, right? Stick with that one small thing and get in the habit of completion. Because when it's done, A, you've accomplished something, B, you're forming really good habits for your mind. I'm atrocious for this. Even to this day, there's habits that I want to work on, but I have to be realistic within the confines of my mindset today. It's way better than it was a year and a half ago, but there's still things I need to work on, still things I need to do. So you have to give yourself some grace, some buffer room, a little peace of mind that, getting this done is good enough for now. Because I said the momentum builds. It's crazy how when you actually set your mind to doing things, especially in my own life, you just get in the habit of getting them done. And I know I've probably said that 8 or 10 times, but accomplishing feels good. Whether it's making a to-do list every morning and actually checking things off one at a time. Okay, get up, brush my teeth. Cool. That's the first check mark of your day. That's the first accomplishment of your day. Okay, 2, have a shower. Boom. Okay, sweet. Now you've accomplished brushing your teeth and a shower. See, those things seem trivial, but it's not the point. The point is getting them done, feeling accomplished. And then, of course, you can add different things like going out for lunch with a friend, getting an assignment done, reading this chapter, meditating, doing whatever, telling the person you care about you love them. That's a great one. I'll make a different video on that. Gratitude lists and love lists that I call them. But that's really, really important. And that kind of stuff made a huge difference for me and allowed me to propel forward and grow in a way that I never, ever could. And like I said in my first video, I'll be describing my life kind of retroactively up to this point through these videos, and there's a lot of catch up we got to do. But one of the things I was never able to, really get down pat was the sense of accomplishment. I'm a complete scatterbrain. For the most part, I still am. But again, it's 10 times as good as it was. And that's only because I developed smaller piece by piece habits as opposed to these, these grand accomplishments. Like I want to become organized, for example, over the period of a day. Are you kidding me? You should see the state of my room or my old room, right? It was awful. And I would get my ex-girlfriend and I, and even a friend sometimes, because he's a little OCD, and we'd have fun with it. We'd organize my room, it'd be good for a week, then boom, right? I mean, a lot of people's rooms are messy, and it's messy for a multitude of reasons. You don't put your clothes away, or you leave your pencils out, or your assignments are out. Whatever it is, in my case, it's kind of immaterial. But I had to develop good habits to begin cleaning a room. And it started with all these little things. It wasn't just this grand accomplishment of keep your room clean, and you're going to become organized. So my goal was become organized, and my mechanism was always keeping my room clean. Yeah, it seemed fair, but for me at the time, it was like, yeah, I'm a busy guy, and I didn't, appreciate basic organization skills. So for me at the time, that was, I'm not going to say an unrealistic goal, because I probably could have done it, but to become a super organized person in general wasn't going to happen. For me, that takes pieces, right? Sometimes the attention to detail is what I personally lack. I hear this a lot with men, my friends. I see it a lot on YouTube. Attention to detail is what people lack. I'm more of a big thinker kind of guy, right? I've been to school for Bachelor of Science and Masters of Engineering. That's the kind of thinking I like to do. Foresight, broad, sophisticated issues, and then I can't remember to bring my pencil or a pen or my wallet, stuff like that, and that's okay. But and for me, you have to prioritize what you want to accomplish too. So was getting organized for me anyways the most important thing, or was it tackling, my anxiety, my depression, my chronic pain, my limiting beliefs? For me, that was a priority because that was really going to allow me to grow as a person and, enhance my relationships. And if I was the best version of me, then everything else would rise to the top. And I've seen that, through and through in the past year and a half. That's exactly what's happened. My relationships now are the best. I'm feeling good. My health is good. My physical health is good. My mental health is good. Still a long way to go, but compared to what it was super important. So in closing, I think after talking for a little bit, it's important to recognize what kind of your realistic goals should be and prioritize them, right? Is getting organized, for example, the most important thing for me? No, it wasn't. I thought it was because it would look nice. I'd feel better and people could perceive me a little differently, but that wasn't the issue. Because the real issue had to do with things in my mind, right? Scatterbrain this, and I was distracted, and my mind would race, and I was anxious, and all this shit was going on. And then, of course, as a byproduct came my disorganization. So often, take the time to get to the core of what you think may be causing the thing that you want to work on, if that makes sense. I'll say it again. So say you want to work on becoming more organized, and you think it's because you're just disorganized. I doubt it. There's probably some underlying thing there. Maybe you're anxious or depressed, or you're not motivated, right? Get to the root of what that is, and then work on that as a new habit. So, meditation twice weekly, or cognitive behavioral therapy if you're anxious, or anything that's going to deal with the underlying problem. And then as a byproduct, organization will become a lot easier because your mind's a lot clearer and you feel better. So prioritize what you want to do, set realistic goals, and more importantly, do them. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye.